Good afternoon slash evening, people. Today is day 3 of Challengers. We will be first watching Arkham versus Pincer. The winners of those games will move on to the grand final, and then the losers will go to play Metro to see whoever wins that today. And then we'll have the two winners play tomorrow in the grand finals for number 1 in the Challengers. We have about 2 or so minutes until the room opens. So just gonna hang out here, and actually I think Wargaming updated the amount of camos you can disassemble. Yes, I'm gonna just do that. Get rid of trashy camos I'm never gonna use. Let's see here. Are there any other especially bad ones I don't want? Might get rid of these if I 630, and I don't remember. You can exchange them for like a crate of some kind. 1100. I'm never gonna put these on anyways. Hey, okay, I got enough now. Let's see if I get a decent camo. Just turn this really fast. Ready up. I'm curious what this looks like. Staunch Defender. That's kind of trashy. And it might look okay on some tanks, but this really doesn't outmatch any of the other camos I have, particularly this one. Oh well, I didn't need those other camos anyways. So the first map is Port Bay. A lot of people commonly call it Port. Just go ahead and flip that to a G. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for saying that. I don't think so, but I'm not going to risk it because it's not exactly the most fun map. The meta has seemed to have changed just a little bit on the map, though, from when I played. A little bit more A side is played versus purely C and B with occasional A plays. I think that's a little bit nicer now because it was just you just kind of knew which side of the map you were going to. And this is a little bit more dynamic, forces you to be more on your toes. So let's see what these teams are going to pull for their lineups. So far, it's looking like Arkham want mostly Kronwagens and IS-4s with their E5, most likely going to be their mobility, rotational power. Well, Pincer doing a little bit, having a little bit more variation. They got 2 IS-4s, an E5, and a Vickers readied up. They're going to bring a mouse to put towards B, to contest B, most likely, and possibly use it as a boost. And then 2 Kronwagens, unless they decide to change it up. I like this. It's a little bit more dynamic. You got tanks for different roles versus just spamming the most meta tanks there are. You always got to appreciate off-meta or more unique strats. go ahead and also grab the whatchamacallits, the Battle Pass giveaway form that I like to do. Except it's being stupid and not giving me the ability to share it. Come on. Share, please. There we go. And this will be posted in the chat and pinned. So feel free to go check out chat and pinned messages to see the form link. All right, our game is about to start. This is best of 7, so you have to win 4 rounds to be able to move on and go to the grand finals tomorrow. Casual flirting and positive messages at the beginning of the game, wishing each other good luck. Some good sportsmanship there. All right, let's see. Pincer making moves towards A cap right off the bat, moving a Kronwagen or 2 towards C. I think they're going to be sitting back here on this ridge, trying to just be able to get vision and resets on C if necessary from a safe place. Moving over here, Arkham seem to be fairly split. They have the 2 Kronwagens in the middle area, being a rotational power, so they can get to any side they need to very quickly. IS-4 is near C, just holding so that nothing can happen. And then the E5 with the 2 Kronwagens behind for support. Dallas, Texas getting spotted in the cap circle. There are 2 Kronwagens behind that are going to try and get resets. I like things because a nice damaging shot into Dallas, Texas. No trades given. Arkham getting the first hit of this match. Altorzori is in a strong position. He's holding down this outer lane so that Arkham can't do anything on the outside of A. Pincer making the first move, getting the C cap when they were not able to get A. Thankfully, luckily for Pincer, Dallas, Texas did only take 1 hit. If he had bled more HP, that would have been a big loss for Pincer. Keeney taking a little bit of damage. Good spots here from Deacon and the Vickers. Arkham not going to be able to make much of a move towards C-Cap without Deacon spotting them first, but he does have to be careful not to get caught out, so he's doing the smart thing, running away, putting a little bit more distance and cover between him and Arkham's potential push. Pincer's still pretty spread out. The Kronwagens having moved a little bit to be more supporting towards A and B if necessary, leaving Deacon pretty much by himself. Invincible can be a little bit of support, but it looks like Pincer will be giving up C if Arkham pushes. But if Arkham does push, since they've left the entire rest of the map open, Pincer can make a move on B and A and get the cap back, plus some. Arkham making the move now. Deacon needs to start running. As he does, he's getting out before he can get bled. Pincer just giving up C, the smart move, but they need to be making the move towards A. Yes, Dallas is getting into A, and Kool-Aid is getting into B. Arkham not having any tanks in a position to reset B on that push. They still haven't even started a cap C. They're trying to chase. Pac-Man spotting Kool-Aid, but not stopping in a place where he could easily get shots through the buildings into the side of him. Now Arkham have only 1 cap now. As soon as they get C, Pincer having 2 caps. Pincer having a huge lead now. Arkham has to make a move, and Pincer just has to hold. If Pincer is set up correctly, as soon as Arkham makes a move for B or around one of the sides, they will get nuked very heavily. Arkham needs to either make a very smart split play or move together as one unit, overpowering whatever defense Pincer has in that certain section of the map. Looks like Arkham wants to make a move towards A and towards B. They're getting some tanks wide around A while making a sort of coordinated push with a few tanks towards the city and into B. Arkham getting spotted as they get into positions over A. Kool-Aid trying to keep Meow Kitty off of B as well as not getting bled by JTA. Pincer moving 2 tanks, the IS-4 and Kronwagen, towards JTA. USR coming in to assist the mouse instead. They need to keep the B cap. Meow Kitty #1 getting hit very heavily, now down to 761 HP. He's using his tanks as cover, trying to back up, now down to a one-shot. Deacon needs to move. He might be able to put shots into him. He does put a failed HE. I'm not sure why he shot an HE at him there. Needed to be putting heat into the side of the tank. Arkham do manage to take out Kool-Aid, the mouse, for Pincer, but they do have 2 caps, but they're losing C back to Pincer. Pincer gonna be taking out JTA while Deacon starts to move in on the tanks on B. While Arkham is doing a decent job of getting control of the caps, they are bleeding very heavily. They're down 2 tanks to Pincer's 1 and down about 2,700 hit points. Jody now going to be the next focus fire for USSR Elite. Deacon trying to make a move towards A to assist Altazori with Pac-Man and Keeney. Pincer do manage to win as they have at least 1 cap still. Pincer had cap control most of the game, forcing Arkham to make moves back and forth, and Arkham just were not able to cope fast enough with Pincer's lead on caps. Well played to Pincer that game. By the way, for that form, if you've already won the Battle Pass in one of the 2 previous streams, you will not be eligible for another win. Sorry, but I don't want to be giving 2 of the same Battle Pass to this one person. It just doesn't make any sense. So you can still fill it out if you want, but you will not be chosen as a winner. And all responses will be read on stream. And if you're not exactly correct, if we don't have enough people that are correct in my favorite tank, then we will just pick my favorite responses of what you think is my favorite tank. And if I have to, I'll do a RNG simulator again. All right, so we're flipping spawns. Arkham changing it up a little bit. They're running 3 Kronwagens this time, 2 E5s, an IS-4, and an STB. While Pincer are running, let's see here, 1 Yo, 3 Kronwagens, an E5, IS-4, and a Vickers. I'm curious to know what they're using the Yo for. If they're trying to use it for the brawl, they need to be running the 3-shot gun as it has a much more DPM. Or if they're trying to use it for burst range damage, they probably want to be running the 2-shot as it just does that damage so quickly. It is very good for nuking crosses and just doing it guerrilla warfare, popping up, shooting, and then getting back into cover before anyone can react. Let's see if Arkham have any different decision-making and strategy for this game to win instead of being stuck on the defensive the entire time, trying to react. Actually, they weren't on the defensive, really. They were forced onto the offensive because Pincer got the cap control very fast and effectively. Looks like both teams are playing towards C. Deacon spotting Jody, Jody spotting Deacon. Deacon trying to get a shot, bleeding to Jody. Dallas, Texas missing a shot on the move, getting aggressive towards C. They still do not see the three tanks in the dip. Altazori taking huge damage there. Surprisingly not taking more. He needs to be getting out of the dip. He's now stuck getting tracked by Jody. Good track shots by him. Altazori stuck in the river between at least two tanks able to shoot into him. He is getting bled very heavily. Pincer need to make a move now fast. Force Arkham back on the defensive and try and keep their E5 alive. But it looks like Arkham will just be pushing towards Altazori, pulling back away from Pincer's advances over the C cap. Not too much focus fire here as you see multiple tanks taking damage. No one tank being focused out like Arkham was able to focus out Pincer's E5. Arkham's starting to focus out Dallas, Texas now. Dallas, Texas being low. None of Arkham's tanks are particularly low. Nothing more than 1600 HP. They're all sharing HP effectively, not giving Pincer a good tank to focus out. Pincer now finally starting to make a move, focusing Kool-Aid. He is now one shot at 88 hit points. He goes down. Keeney, the next focus fire. Pincer's now starting to use their focus fire effectively. While they were struggling at the beginning, they are now dropping tanks very quickly. Pincer, I'm mistaken. I was a little backwards. Pincer's tanks are dropping quickly. Arkham have only lost a single tank. Pincer did not fix their focus fire issue. I got my colors mixed up there. My apologies. Arkham doing a much better job this time of having good focus fire and out brawling Pincer. Pincer having their tank get stuck down in the river there really put them at a disadvantage, losing that tank early, making it a 6v7, and effectively giving themselves a handicap by not being able to support that tank down there. Much better played by Arkham this round. Yeah, Altazori only able to get off one shot, and Kool-Aid only able to get off two. Pincer not able to use their tanks, guns, or clips effectively that round. This is a pretty good start. We are now switching maps to Canyon. I have not seen Canyon used as a comp map yet. I've only seen Himmelsdorf and I think some Yamato Harbor since I played last season, and those three maps were not added to the comp pool. So I've heard some positive things about Canyon. I'm personally not a fan of the map, so I'm interested to see what teams have come up for strategy-wise. I have pretty limited descriptions or predictions here. I'm going to guess Kronwagens are going to be trying to contest the B hill. For Arkham, the Yos are going to be in the back, trying to just get snipes and burst damage on any tanks they can catch out on top of the hill. And other than that, I'm not really sure what tanks are going to be doing. Hmm. Here we go. All right, we only have 3 responses for the form. This is a reminder, if you want a chance to win the Battle Pass, please fill out the form that is pinned in the chat. All right. Pincers seem to be moving the bat chat towards A side for either a quick cap or just a spotting run. Moving Mexinese and USSR Elite towards the B cap. Arkham playing very aggressive to this side of B. It's a little bit risky with Pincer initially having control over here, but Pincer only has a single tank that's able to do anything. So Arkham might be able to have early shots into these Pincer tanks as they cross and try and get into position around B. Does not look like Arkham are able to put any shots in. Pincer playing smart, not bleeding. Yes, the Batchat was a quick cap for A. Jody getting spotted as the only tank over here on the outside lane. Pincer should be able to get into these positions on the backside of B and if they can get control of this and push Jody back, they will have hill control over towards C side. It looks like Arkham is going to be making quick moves, gonna try and get their Yos into play as big nuke tanks on the Pincer tanks around B. Arkham pushing into trying to push into USSR Elite. USSR Elite taking huge damage from behind. Mexines trying to drop his clip down into I like tanks, but he does not want to stay there for very long as he does not want to take the next focus fire. Arkham now trying to push into Kool-Aid, who is now stuck mostly by himself in their own spawn. Takes one hit, gonna take another from Kinsu as soon as he gets around the corner. Another bleed. JTA taking some hits. Pincer struggling here. They're not down by much on hit points. I like tanks just barely alive. Kool-Aid now getting pushed back. Kinsu taking a strong position onto him. And JTA, I'm so sorry, I can't seem to say her name, trying to push shots into Jory. Kool-Aid taking huge hits from the middle tanks there. Is not able to get into cover. Now, JTA takes a huge ammo rack there. That is going to be Pincer's saving grace. That is keeping them in the game as now they are even on hit points. That is the fourth ammo rack on an E5 today in comp. There were 3 games on EU. I think it was Jones that got ammo racked 3 different times. Invincible pushing Kinsu. Gonna be putting his clip into him. Only gonna need one other tank to put a shot into Kinsu to clear him out here. Arkham still managing to stay in this with hit points. Teams are even on tanks. Arkham, though, having only 2 full HP tanks and 2 tanks half health and 1 tank as a one-shot, they have to be careful not to let I like tanks get focused out. But Mexini's making a really risky play here. He's now between 3 tanks, not even looking at the tank he wants to be able to focus down. I like tanks managing to sneak off a shot and get out. Mexini is now at 2 shots stuck between. Invincible manages to take out Pac-Man, while Meow Kitty #1 trying to finish off Mexini's. Mexini's barely manages to get behind the rock. He can't peek the Yo here, or he does manage to get a peek off, but Meow Kitty on the move is going to struggle to get a shot if he manages to track Mexini's, not able to finish him. Mexini's drops off his clip. Arkham now struggling. They're down by 1,300 hit points here. Deacon trying to push into Jody and I like tanks. He needs Yuri's help. Invincible coming in from behind, getting that clear, and putting 2 more shots into Jody. Deacon needs to be careful here. Can't really push Jody as Jody's going to have 3 shots. No, Jody shoots too early. He only has 1 shot left, and he's not able to finish Deacon even with a max roll. He needed to wait another half second there to get that last reloaded shell in there to be able to finish Deacon, but Pincer managing to make a comeback there with that ammo rack. Very unlucky for Arkham as they started off strong. JTA, the tank that does get ammo racked, he only managed to put 1 shot in that game. Unfortunate for him, they were almost like Arkham were down a tank there for most of the game because of that ammo rack. He was not able to do any effective damage. All right, the second side of Canyon, spawns are swapped. Pincer running 2 Kronwagens, a Yo, 2 E5s, IS4, and a Vickers this time. And Arkham are running 3 Kronwagens, an IS4, E5, and 2 Yos. So it doesn't look like they're really changing up their lineup this time, while Pincer made a couple of changes, dropping the Batchat for a Vickers and I think dropping a Kronwagen for a Yo. All right. Pincer already turning a couple tanks towards the backside of B. They want to get the ramp. Looks like Jory is not angling towards B. He's going to most likely be playing some position over near A as a side scrape tank or just to hold from an A push. Maxinese and Kool-Aid going to be the Kronwagens on the backside of the hill. Deacon getting into a very strong position if he can catch some of these tanks out in the open through over these hills. He does manage to get one shot into I like tanks and a second shot. He does take 800 in return, though. Unfortunate for him. He did get his 2 shots off, but returning the damage, Arkham managed to return the damage, so not giving Pincer any advantage there with that nice burst attempt. Maxinese taking hits from Kinsu. Pincer need to be putting pressure on Kinsu if they want to have hill control, especially on this side. They're giving him free farms into the side of their own Kronwagens. And if the Kronwagens turn away their turrets, Arkham can push up onto the ridge here and put pressure onto them. Arkham down on cap points as the Vickers was significantly faster into getting into the C cap over here. Pincer managing to get a little bit of a bleed into Kinsu, but the 2 Yos moving up to support him. Pincer are a little weak on A Arkham are a little weak on A, and Pincer needs to try and capitalize on the even-ish odds over here. They need to put Jory either into a better spot to help with the Kronwagens, or he needs to be pushing towards A to push JTA back. Deacon not really able to support his team here, as the Kronwagens can peek over the hill using their turrets, and he should not be able to do much. Kool-Aid and Maxinese taking pretty heavy bleeds from the 3 Kronwagens as they look at the C push from Arkham here. Arkham now pushing over into Kool-Aid and Maxinese. Deacon no longer able to support as he started to back off. He's now turning around to get a clip off, missing 1 shot into Jody. He manages to put another shot while the IS-4 over below A manages to put another shot into Keeney. This game is very, very even. Hit points being traded back and forth. Jory getting pushed by JTA, and it looks like I Like Tanks is going to be moving in to help JTA finish off Jory here. Kool-Aid also very low. They're trying to push into Keeney to trade what they're going to lose. They managed to get the kill first, but they do lose SSR Elite. Jory going to be going down here soon as well. Looks like Arkham are barely holding on to a slight lead. They managed to get that kill, and that puts them ahead on cap points as well. But it looks like the Yo push into Deacon, Invincible, and Altazori was a failure. Meow Kitty trying to run away as Invincible and Altazori chases him down. Invincible putting another shot into him, and it looks like Meow Kitty's on 309. Meow Kitty not looking at Invincible, trying to put shots into Altazori, misses 1 shot, and Altazori will get the ram kill to save a shot. Maxinese getting pushed on by some Arkham tanks in mid. This game is super, super close. Arkham do have 2 cap points, though, so they are in the lead on caps. But Pincer's ace up their sleeve now is that they still have a light tank. They have significant more mobility and 2 tanks that are 1 shot. They need to get him to go clear tanks to keep in the running for this game. Altazori needs to make a play for B. Doesn't have to cap. He just has to cap, stop it until Deacon or Invincible in the light tank can finish off some heavy tanks. Invincible does manage to spot JTA. He does take a bleed, but he finishes off the tank. He narrowly is missed by Kinsu. I Like Tanks managing to put a shot into him. Invincible needing to get the clear on Jody and then managing to get into A here. Or even just getting into A would be very good because Jody would have to push and force himself to get bled here. Invincible trying to help Altazori there on B. Pins are doing a very good job of keeping the caps in their favor, but Deacon is getting bled here. He's going to go down to J. Yep, he does go down to I Like Tanks. Very well done by Arkham. They were able to pick up what they needed to finish off the cap there, while Pincer was not able to take out the tanks they needed to win that. It is now 2-2. We need at least 2 more games to have a winner here. And we have up to 3 more games left if this goes to the final tiebreaker of this best of 7 series between Pincer and Arkham. Let's see here. Another reminder about the form for your chance to win a August Battle Pass. We have 2 meme responses and only 5 legitimate responses. So if you want to have a chance of winning the Battle Pass, you need to fill out this form. It is linked in the chat. It is pinned to the top of the chat. So just go ahead and follow that link and fill it out. See, we've switched to Middleburg. Pincer on the south side running 2 IS-4s, 2 E5s, a Yo, and 2 Kronwagens, while Arkham are running the T-22, 4 Kronwagens, and 2 IS-4s. Arkham having the north spawn, they might want to put the T-22. The T-22 is either going to be playing aggressive towards the C upper cap, or they might even have him rotate down since he has the mobility to try and cap A. The Krons are definitely going to be going up top as they have the hold down advantage, and the hills up there cater to hold down tanks. Well, Pincer will still most likely be trying to go up, but they might stick an E5 or an IS-4 into their B cap to get the cap. I say E5 as it has the mobility, it has a speed boost, and it can get out of there faster, but IS-4 is the stronger tank for down below if they get hard pushed. Can't see, what are you doing in my chat right now? You're supposed to be playing, my guy. Oops. All right. Pincer turning most of their tanks to go for hill. No one's going to be going for the B cap, but they are going to be sticking an E5 hold down back here. This gives them vision towards the town. It's very hard to push. They would have to, Arkham would have to overcommit to get this tank, and Pincer could have very easy nukes set up. But the 2 IS-4s for Arkham are going for the double cap. T-22 trying to do what the Vickers does and spot here early, but he's not quite fast enough to catch any tanks out where his teammates supporting can get nukes early on. Looks like 2 Kronwagens are sitting over here to hold down, looking towards A. They might be moving them up a little bit further to this ridge to watch towards C as Pincer do get C. They do have another, Arkham do have another 2 Kronwagens here in a very hold down position that you have to way overcommit to be able to do damage to. It is you're capable of making a successful push there, but with 4 Krons, that is a lot of clip power to push into. JTA still a lone IS-4 starting to back out from A. I like tanks getting down into the dip here, sitting with his tank mostly in cover, looking up towards C while the T-22 tries to get some vision, I think, into town. Pincer having a majority of their control up on C. They're trying to pull Jory out now. I think they want to put him towards B, but unfortunately for him, Arkham are starting to push some of their tanks towards him. So now he's left his strong holding position and will get caught out. JTA getting spotted here by Deacon, who came down to support Jory. Jory missing his shot, the same as Deacon. Now they know that there's tanks playing more aggressive towards B. They only know about the 1 IS-4, so it is going to be more difficult for them to get the B cap, as they are down on caps. Not by much, but down just enough. Arkham are rotating most of their, or 4 of their tanks down into town, while Pincer only have 2, with 1 supporting from their spawn. Pincer need to make a move here. They are making the move. I didn't even see they're getting on the P gap. I'm surprised Arkham is letting them get away with this. Arkham coming in too late for the B cap reset, but they are making the push onto the 2 E5s on B. Let's see here. Kool-Aid starting to look this way. I'm not sure if he's going to be committing yet. Deacon being told to just try and get out, but he can stay a little bit longer to keep Jory alive and put in some bigger damage into JTA here. Pincer making a counter push into B cap. They're going to try and catch I Like Tanks and JTA out in the open. Try and take them out as fast as possible so they can retain the B cap. They managed to reset it. Arkham are not going to be able to get the B cap, but they do get the kill first. I Like Tanks now a one-shot. Kool-Aid missing his shot. That was a crucial shot there. You can't be letting this tank stay alive as long as he is. I Like Tanks going down now. JTA is at 500 hit points, so he's a max roll or a 2-shot. He is now being hit for a 1-shot. Altazori in between 3 tanks up top. Going to be going down. Mexinis getting out, pushing towards town. Kinsu is going to be pushed onto here by a majority of the pincer tanks. Pincer want to get the A cap back so they can maintain cap advantage and clear Kinsu at the exact same time. Kinsu forced to push into the Invincible Yo. He's going to be able to get nuked twice here by Invincible. One shot from Mexinese, and he is finished off by USSR Elite. Pincer are managing to get the A cap back. Arkham need to make a move here. Pincer have 2 caps and the cap advantage, as well as a 2,000 hit point lead. Arkham need to play for caps without getting nuked. Meow Kitty is going to run into 2 tanks here. The Yo not looking towards him, the Yo nuking Kini, but Mexinese having 2 shots is going to show up and hit him as hard as he can, as long as with Deacon's assistance here. Meow Kitty low, Kini low, both about 800 or 8. Meow Kitty 800, Kini 680. Kini going down here now. So is Meow Kitty. Mexinese getting a final shot in, and Pincer end up winning that. Well played by Pincer. They managed to out-rotate Arkham and get control of town when Arkham tried to make a play. Arkham just were not fast enough. They gave away their plans there, and Pincer were able to react very effectively. Kudos to Pincer. Alright, we are now flipping spawns on Middleburg. Arkham running another 4 Crons, 2 IS-4s, and a Vickers. Pretty much what they ran last game, except for they're trading a Vickers for a T-22, while Pincer are running, let's see, at least 3 Crons, if not 4. An IS-4, this is 4 Crons, IS-4 E5, and a Vickers. Very similar lineup here, but Pincer has an E5 rather than an IS-4. The biggest difference there is the E5 has a tiny bit more gun depression and DPM, but the IS-4 has a little bit better consistent armor and has a little bit more HP. But the E5 does have the premium consumable that is the reactive armor, which can effectively make his HP, I think, equal if not greater than the IS-4's, especially if running sandbags. So we'll see what Pincer does with that E5. Is the E5 also has speed boost, so he has more mobility. All right. Pincer having an IS-4 beeline towards A. Actually, 2 Kronbogens and an E5 are going to be playing town. Another 2 Kronbogens and the Vickers playing up top. This is where the Vickers is very strong. See, he's spotting out all 4 of those Kronbogens, getting a very nice high roll bleed into one of Arkham's Krons. USSR Elite does not manage to get another bleed in there. So good job to Invincible to at least give them a slight advantage there against Arkham. So now Pincer know where Arkham's tanks are in comparison to their tanks. Pincer making a hard aggressive play into B. They didn't even get the A cap. They're pushing Arkham out of B, but they are getting counter pushed by Arkham. Pretty much what Pincer did to Arkham, Arkham is doing in return. Pincer need to get out of this crossfire as Deacon takes some heavy damage. JTA also having taken heavy damage, but Deacon going to be going down before JTA does, as Deacon goes down now and JTA is in a little bit of cover. Altazori taking some big hits here. These Krons are super deadly on this push as they have huge burst damage, but once their clips are empty, they have very low DPM ones. The IS-4 does have about 400 more DPM than them, but it's not going to matter as Arkham managed to take out 2 tanks faster than Pincer can take out 2 of Arkham's tanks. Jordy taking a shot into Kinsu there. Invincible getting the clear. Tanks now even. HP also very even. Pincer does have a slight cap advantage. This could turn around very quickly. USSR Elite taking huge damage there, 1,200 hits, and Jody is now just free farming him in the rear while Arkham make a counter push. Arkham probably going to ignore USSR Elite and leave Jody to finish him off via farms. If they had just turned one of their turrets there, they could have gotten the clear a little bit faster. Keeney now doing it, taking unnecessary damage as they could have cleared him a little bit sooner. Invincible also getting nuked by one of the Kron's clips. Kool-Aid Jury and Mexinese pushing into Keeney. They want to clear him here. Mexinese has 2 shots. He's going to be able to get the clear unless Jury blocks his teammate. Mexinese managing to get the shot off, but he's going to be going down to Jody. It is now a 3-on-2. Arkham having the 2 tanks, but Invincible is not healthy enough to last, and he gets pushed by Jody. He was not paying attention. Jody picking up that crucial clear. Meow Kitty now 300 hit points. Kool-Aid managing to pick up the clear. Very good job by Kool-Aid there. Jody needs to try and run around all these tanks, but he's running right into them. Jury almost able to block him there. If he was able to block them, Jody would have been done. But this is most likely Pincer's game here. While Jody has the mobility, he is very easy to HE and is getting slapped by those HE shells. Jury having 500, so Jody has to get 2 more shots. While Jury pushes on the left, Kool-Aid will be pushing on the right to just Pincer in Jody. Good job by Pincer. I believe Pincer just tied it back up as they went down to Arkham, so it should be 3-3. Let's see here. Yeah, JTA not able to output damage. If he had been able to output a little bit of more damage before going down, that would have been even closer, and Jody would have had a chance. Oh no, I was incorrect. Pincer did go up. They were up 3-2. And they just got their 4th. So Pincer, congratulations. They are now moving on to the grand finals of the Challengers Tournament. Arkham is not out of this yet. They are knocked down to the lower echelon where they will be playing against Metro at, let's see, when does this game start? At 10. It says 6:10, but it's like an hour behind. So that is in 36 to 10, 30 minutes. They will be playing Arkham, and the winners of the lower bracket finals will move on to face Pincer in the grand finals tomorrow at 6 p.m. PST and 9 p.m. Eastern. And that will be a best of 9. So let's see here. We managed to have 10 form responses now. I'm going to have to go to dinner a little bit earlier today, but I will do the form giveaway before the last battles tonight. So in about 25-ish or so minutes. So please, again, fill out the form. It's linked and pinned in chat. And I will see you guys in a little bit. All right, I am back. Sorry for taking so long. I had some family come in today, only having like a 18-hour notice window. So it was very last minute thing, so I had to eat dinner with them. But we have a couple of minutes here, like about 4 until whatchamacallit, the next game starts. And since we have 13 forum responses, I'm gonna go ahead and close this off and do the forum responses until it's time. Here, actually, I want to do this. All right, so there's a few people doing memes here, which is all right. Not a big deal. I don't care about timestamps. So, total meme. Beast is better than Bubba. Pretty sure that was Beast's response. And he says, imagine listening to Bubba Burns. The question was, what do you think my favorite tank is and why? Night Out says E5 because it's American and chunky, also no skill. Wow, I appreciate it, Night Out. Sickable. I know who this is. I don't know how to pronounce your name though. Your favorite tank is the 62A because it's mobile, has good gun depression and turret, good DPM, and is versatile. I know you don't like heavies because of the current meta, and I don't think you like TDs because they're passive. Mizuhara, I personally think the back chat, that thing is really fun in my opinion, as the mobility is really smooth and a soothing cruise across each terrain. Papusa, I think your favorite tank is either the 183 or the Grill. 183 is the most one-played tanks in your garage, and I think it is because of the big gun and alpha damage. Nuking a tank for half entire HP is extremely funny to watch, and the Grill 15 might also be your favorite tank. Oh, wow. Farm damage when you have a good camping position to stay in. Or I think I missed a whole lot. My favorite tank because its accuracy is extremely good, and it's really good to farm damage when you're in a good camping position. Ravadali, Kronwagen Fluorescent T95E6 because you had it selected in your garage. It's probably one of my favorite looking tanks, for sure. I am the Hillbilly E5 because you were so average. T100 E5, it's a solid heavy and easy to use the high alpha damage. I don't know what the T100 E5 is, but if you meant the T110 E5, then maybe. Shoto, 183 Big Gun Go Boom, plus we tuned with them like 2 days ago, and it's your second most played tank. Only to the Grill. However, you also told me the Grill was your first tier 10. It's my third tier 10, actually. And the logic dictates that the 183 is your new favorite. Denzel, to start, I really don't play low tier, so all my favorite tanks are at tier 10, like the Kronwagen, and that is my favorite tank for several key reasons. First, the hit point pool is very strong and around 2500 base, and 2850 in the current meta. Improved assembly and sandbag armor. Oh wow, he wrote me a paragraph again. Very easy. As far as this second, it's gone. Although lacking the DPM, has a clip and an auto reloader, which makes it very versatile. You can either fire one shell at a time or reload your entire clip for better burst damage. Third, it has very strong turret armor and gun depression, making it easy to go hold down and get damage out as long as you are patient. Finally, it has a special speed consumable, which allows players to reposition very quickly in times of need while still being balanced, as it can't relocate well without the consumable, which forces some map knowledge on positioning to play it well. Overall, it's a very strong tank, and I hate to see it nerfed, but it'll be strong in many aspects, and the playstyle won't change. And Tank Killer T49, I'm just guessing because I just found your channel today, and I think you would like using the big gun and very fast speed and mobility. All right, so the real answer to what my favorite tank is, let me check. I think I got a room invite. I did. Got 4 minutes to finish this up. Is actually the WZ121. That is my favorite tank in the game. The T95E6 is also one of my favorite tanks. So because of that, let me just resize this to like 500. I'm going to give Fluorescent one of the Battle Pass wins. Well, the 183 and the Grill are two of my most played tanks. The Grill was my third tank ever, and the 183, I played it a lot before it got huge nerfs, back when I was not very good at the game, and it was one of my best tanks at only averaging like 2600 in it, and it was just a lot of fun. You could actually hit things back then. So it's formerly one of my favorite tanks. 62A is one of my other favorite medium tanks. It's just such a versatile tank. Good DPM, good rate of fire, good penetration. It's just good at everything. It's a lot of fun, but 121 is definitely my top tank. Let's see here. Well, so you said your favorite tank is the Kronwagen. I asked for mine technically. I really appreciate the your reasoning for it though. So you might get it. I'm not sure yet. Because I personally find the Kronwagen to be a little bit boring. I love it on Watt PC though. It has an actual clip. It's smaller. It's so good. T49, not my favorite tank. It's super troll, but it can be a fun tank to just screw around at tier 8. I got two more. I guess I technically have to give it to Shoto as well since I gave it to Pusa for the Grill 15 and 183. Otherwise I'm not being fair and biased. No. Ooh, it's either between Tank Killer for having a unique tank or Denzel for putting in a lot of effort. I would say man, this is hard to choose. Both things can be fun. Both things can be boring though. I'm gonna go with T49 because I do like the T49 a little bit more. It's more of a fun tank. So congratulations to Sickplay, Papusa Man, Fluorescent, Shoto, and Tank Killer 980. Alrighty. We got a minute left. This is Metro versus Arkham for the last spot in the grand finals for challengers. First map is Canal. Metro is going to be on the north spawn and Arkham on the south spawn. Metro, this is one of the few maps that TDs work fairly well on, and Metro are going to try and use that to their favor. They're running two Object 268s on this map, as well as a single IS-4, a single E5, a Vickers, and two Kronwagens. Arkham are running the Vickers, three Kronwagens, 250B, and the E5. I really enjoy the fact that they're going to try and use 50Bs. 50Bs can be super deadly on this map because of its wide open areas. You can catch tanks out and use that mobility to move around to some of the caps really fast. So we shall see what they do as this next round starts. All right. Metro sending multiple tanks towards B. Looks like they're speed boosting their E5 into the dip. Probably going to try and get onto this ramp here. They're putting three tanks into the B. They want the triple cap. JTAG and Paneer scented in their 268s, setting up in positions to nuke across if the E5 spots anything. The E5 manages to spot the Kronwagen, and Meow Kitty gets spotted as well. But no cap resets given, and it looks like both teams are... Oh man, that is really hard to tell who has the cap advantage there. But it won't matter because Metro will be getting A. JTA and who's that? Keeney are trying to get shots off into the IS-4. They managed to get a little bit of bleed, but not really able to effectively put out damage. And JTA takes a fair chunk of hit points, about 400. Actually, exactly 400. The 268s need to rotate out fast. If they get spotted out in this open area, they will get punished hard. But if they can get back here, they can sit up on this hill or in these two bushes on the either side of A and just farm off of Arkham. Since Arkham are down on cap, they will be forced to push. And Metro have the advantage of having the TDs back here. They can nuke any push pretty heavily, but they do not have the tanks to physically block off the caps, particularly B. B is the more common cap to go for because it's much closer to anything else to get cap resets and cap stop. The gap is about 15, so you only need a couple of seconds on B cap without capping it to even and give Arkham the lead. But to do so, they will be punished heavily by the double 268s. You see, we have one back up here on the hill and one here in the bush. Pretty much from back here on the hill, they have very good vision over B. There's barely small amounts of places they can hide, and the Kronwagens easily counter that. They can hit any spot the 268s can't, and this 268 here also makes the gap that they can get into be significantly smaller, as well as giving support over here from both positions. Arkham trying to figure out what to do. Jody trying to get spots off. I don't think he's quite able to spot anything. The 268 has fantastic camo. It's going to be very difficult to spot him. Pannier almost gets that blind shot on Jody. If he just shot slightly earlier, he would have hit Jody. And that would have been devastating for Arkham to have a huge chunk takedown of their only mobile tank. Looks like I Like Tanks is going down the middle. He does get spotted by the Vickers in these bushes. If the Vickers can get in that bush, it totally makes this middle push here irrelevant as you get spotted super early. Some nice shots going into destroy in the Vickers. Looks like the E5 and Jody and the Vickers are trying to make a play on B, as well as the 50Bs coming in with a very smart play here. They're double clipping out Defender. Actually, no, they're not. They stopped shooting Defender. One bouncing and Keeney putting in shots to isolate. They needed to finish off that tank that would have given them the cap advantage they needed, while I Like Tanks is getting the B cap and not getting punished. Arkham doing a fantastic job here, and Pincer just not able to do the punishing or sorry, Metro, I forgot we switched. Metro not able to do the punishing that they had set themselves up to do. There goes Defender to the Kronwagen in the back. Kinsu now getting pushed on by Jumpin and Dog Scented. He will be going down here in a second to Jumpin or Pannier Scented. Pannier Scented should be trying to put a shot into whatever tank that he can. He does manage to get a nice 704 roll into I Like Tanks, but it's not going to matter as Arkham are about to win on caps. Arkham doing a good job of having a split push and having decent focus fire. They could have improved their focus fire over on B, taking out a tank significantly faster, but Metro really just was not able to do the punishing that they had their tanks in position to do. They wanted to nuke any tanks that were over B to stop them from getting the cap. Instead, they shot different tanks and were not able to knock out the E5 on the cap while losing their Kronwagen's HP to the double 50B. Metro now running 4 50Bs. That is insane. I have not seen this many 50Bs ever run. I came in to play this game competitively after the clip meta was knocked out with the heavy tank buff. With the heavy tank buff, 50Bs were no longer able to double clip tanks out, so Clippers kind of fell to the wayside. Recently, with the Yo being released, Clippers are making a comeback, and I really appreciate the gameplay of Clippers. They're much more fun, can be a little bit more dynamic, and they're a bit more skill-based. They can do good burst damage, but you're out of the game for at least 19 seconds, if not more, and you have to play smart around that. All right, so Metro still running the double 50B, 2 IS4 and a T22. They have insane amounts of mobility and huge burst damage and DPM. Each 50B has about 3,000 DPM. The T22 has about 3.6, I believe. Arkham running 4 Kronwagens and 3 E5s, so they don't have nearly as much mobility, but they do have more heavily armored tanks that can't get HE'd, and they have decent burst as well. They about match the burst of the 50Bs, but the 50Bs can unload faster and have about 1,000 more DPM each. So if Metro can just get in brawls and out DPM Arkham, they will be winning this game. But again, since Arkham has the heavy tanks, like the actual heavy tanks that can sit, hold down, Metro have to be careful because they won't be able to pen a hold down Kronwagen, while the Kronwagen has free reign over penning a 50B. So yes, 50B's not going to be anywhere near town on the openness of A. They will be moving with the T-22 to go to D. The two IS-4s are going to be trying to quick cap C without getting reset. Well, I'm pretty sure Cinnamon Scented should be just YOLOing into the D cap for the quick cap. Arkham are speed boosting two E5s to A. They need to get there as fast as possible, as that tank, that's cap is much further away than the D cap is from any medium tanks. Arkham do manage to get the free cap on B without taking any bleed damage. No hit points have been traded yet, but Metro are going to give themselves the advantage of cap, and now Arkham have to make the move yet again. The cap difference is not very big, and since they have the armor, they can try and make the play for C at the very end and cap stop it. But they do have to be careful. Those 450Bs can absolutely annihilate anything that gets on C. That much clip damage is pretty much unbeatable, especially when all of your tanks have to be up on flat ground. Their IS-4s would be the best tanks, but with the 50B shooting pramo, because they don't have to shoot AP with that many tanks, they just shoot down with APCR from here and absolutely dominate any tanks that go for C. So I think that is their strat. They do have all of their clip power focused purely on C since they did get it faster. Arkham do have to play this carefully. So they should realize that with 450Bs in a position, most likely they would have to assume at this point that they're all watching C, that they can't make a mistake here and get clipped out. I think there might have been a little bit of lag. I don't know exactly why Arkham's still holding still. They're not very spread out. JTAG getting spotted in a really bad position. A good single shot bleed for my light tanks. Unnecessary bleeding from JTAG, but again, with those 50Bs watching C, as long as JTAG stays alive, there's not much Arkham can do here. Arkham's best bet, which they will not know, is probably to try and come here through their own spawn towards Metro. But with his T-22 in these bushes, he will outspot them and allow the 50Bs to easily rotate. Not sure how many 50Bs would rotate if a majority of the Arkham tanks made a play through their own spawn, but we won't find that out because it looks like Arkham is going to be making a run for Metro's spawn. And here comes those 50Bs with their clips. They managed to get 2 shots off. They still have about 12 minus 3, 9 shots ready. They can pen some shots. There we go. They're getting some heavy damage into the crossing Arkham tanks. Arkham bleeding really heavily, but Arkham still having even HP because they have the Kronwagens. Kronwagens bring a lot more HP than 50Bs do. And now Arkham are trying to bleed. Metro making a huge mistake here, moving all of their 50Bs towards Arkham in their spawn. This allows Arkham to get on C-cap uncontested, and the 50Bs are bleeding very heavily. They can't be taking this much damage. And they do manage to get the cap almost. Metro do manage to get or lose cap advantage here, but Arkham have to make a play as these 50Bs are going to come around and absolutely nuke some tanks. Well, Arkham did manage to get cap, and they're going to be able to cap off C. They need to be finishing tanks because these 50Bs are going to come in and start cleaning people up. Arkham gaining the lead here. 50Bs have to start murdering. Pac-Man needs to stop trying to trade shots and just needs to back away from these 50Bs. Because if he goes down, they're going to lose their small gap that they're gaining. Arkham now down on cap, but they're going to quickly get it back with the triple cap points. It looks like Kinsu's trying to go for D. They just want to get as many caps in their favor as possible since they are losing their tanks to Metro's clip power. Metro, again, have the lead. They did manage to slip Cinnamon Scented all the way back to A, which is going to be very good for them to have a good chance of winning this. And Arkham do manage to pick up a kill, maintaining 2 caps still. They are in the lead, and unless Metro can start cleaning or kill another tank, Arkham will barely have managed to slip this win in. Metro gave up their advantage of watching over C, and that is the reason they're going to lose this game here. Kudos to Arkham for managing to deal with that 50B threat. Okay. Yeah, 50Bs, two 50Bs ended up dying, and they really didn't output that much damage, especially Defender. Pantner Scented does manage to output quite a bit of damage there. And Cinnamon Scented didn't manage to use his DPM either, but he was crucial to trying to keep Metro in the game by going for that A cap. Fortunately, Metro were just not able to deal with the HP of Arkham. I still don't know why they did that push with the 50Bs. That was a mistake. I'm pretty sure what their strat was for. Rotated out through the open, gave away their positioning, bled pretty heavily, and then didn't have the ability to hit the tanks pushing into them very hard. Arkham now up 2-0 since this is best of 7. If Arkham wins the next 2 games on Yamato Harmer, they will be moving on to play Pinsir again, but this time for the grand finals. On Yamato Harmer, let's see here. Arkham are bringing a mouse, 4 Kronwagens, IS4 E5. Metro bringing 2 Kronwagens, 2 E5s, 2 Yos, and a Vickers. All right, let's see here. Metro with the Yos. Looks like one Yo is at least running the 3-shot. Not sure about the other. They might be using him for sniping as the 3-shot has significantly better gun handling. It doesn't have the nuke potential. They do the same amount of damage to 2 clips, but it takes 5 seconds versus 1.7 seconds to dump their clips. So it looks like both Yos are running the 3-shot. They're going to be playing a sniping position while Destroy tries to get some spots and is capping C. He needs to be careful. If any of those Kronwagens poke that bush and spot him, he will get nuked as he is being a little too aggressive on the spotting or on the capping. Metro spotting that E5, which is very lucky for him because he was about to blunder straight into 3 tanks. Missed shot there by Arkham. Otherwise, it looks like Arkham have an IS4 on B. Where's their mouse? He is going to be playing towards A. Metro have 2 tanks contesting B and Destroy heading probably behind B towards A, or even just a snipe in the TD bush. He's definitely going to be, in my opinion, he's going to be going towards A. Arkham just trying to hold. They're down on caps here. They have to make a move before the gap advantage for Metro becomes too much to handle. Vickers in a spot where he can spot JTA and just reset him on A. He can back up and get a shot in, get into cover, and reset his camo before resetting again. But he's waiting until, there he does. He was waiting until the cap was higher up to mess with the mouse. Metro having most of their tanks stacked around their C cap. Arkham having almost equal tanks nearby, just 1 tank below. The only place Arkham has the advantage is over by A, and it looks like they're going to be using that to, as of right now, they're moving their tanks across the boat, trying to get shots into these 2 Kronwagen and maybe push the Vickers out. And in response, Metro is making a play towards C. They want to push I like tanks without taking too much damage from Jody and Pac-Man. Jody, having wasted some of his clip, he's going to have to get a clip reload, at least a second shell before starting to dump. He won't have effective damage output. Pac-Man also having wasted a few shots. Jody saving his 3rd shell. They just need to put as many shots into Cinnamon Scented. There's an ammo rack on the E5 for I Like Tanks. That's the 5th one today for E5s. E5 is not looking like the tank today, as for some reason the RNG for the ammo racks is significantly higher. Cinnamon Scented getting hit pretty hard. Jody and Pac-Man getting pushed. Jody goes down. Pac-Man going to be going down here very soon. He wants to try and get 2 of his shells off into the last Kronwagen. Again, not having any focus fire over there, just trying to output as much damage as possible. Metro, lots of tanks with odd amounts of HP, and as you can see, Metro has done a better job of focus firing out 3 of Arkham's tanks. Arkham have 4 somewhat healthy tanks, and Metro still have 5 about half health tanks with, or 4 half health tanks with 1 high. Not sure exactly why Meow Kitty is by himself. His teammates are not able to help him here, and he is quickly going to go down here to Metro focus fire. JTA trying to come in and help, but he's not going to be able to get shots into Isolate. Isolate missing a crucial shot there, but luckily for him, Defender's going to be ready. The mouse is coming in for Isolate. Isolate trying to back up, but JTA should be able to get the easy kill. And now he's going to get clipped out by a Yo and another shot from a Kronwagen while he chases after Defender. Arkham rotating a few tanks around through town and out in the hills, just trying to find shots into some of these tanks. The Yo is pushing into the mouse. The mouse is too shottable. He's now taking 1 hit. Defender coming in, gonna take him out. Dog Scented still has a shot. Kinsu now by himself between Defender and a Yo. He needs to push back. Be careful of Paneer. Maybe he can get the clear without bleeding. He does bleed, which is not good for him. And he is going to be picked up by the Vickers. Keeney now going to try and take Defender out. Bounces a shot there. If he hadn't bounced that shot, he would have been able to clear Defender. Bounces a second shot. That was his only chance there, was to clear Defender and hopefully do some big damage against Destroyer. Metro having a much better game. Arkham making a few misplays, not having good focus fire. Unfortunately for Arkham, they also did lose I Like Tanks a little too early to that ammo rack. If he was able to survive a little bit longer, that would have helped him. And Defender doing 5.2k damage, doing a good job of farming on that heavy tank. Whoops, sorry, I clicked back into the game. Switching spawns now. Metro are running 3 Kronwagens, 2 E5s, a Vickers, and an IS-4. Pretty sure that's what they ran last time. Just checking. No, they had the Yos, that's right. They're slightly changing it up. I think they're bringing a little bit more Kronwagen and E5. No, an IS-4 and another Kronwagen instead of the Yos. While Metro are running 3 Krons, 2 Mice, and 2 E5. That makes me believe they're going to be playing a lot heavier into the ship side of the map, the ship harbor side. The super heavies would not do good out on the sea cap in the hills. They're just a little too tall and honestly easy to get nuked from a distance if they're not careful. But I could be wrong. This is another map I haven't really watched much competitive play on, so I don't know the meta for it. Arkham are also going to have the HP advantage here, just like they did last game. Last game they had about 2,000 to start with, a little less than 2,000. And they do have about 1,000 this time with the double mouse combination. It looks like Metro is going to be making a play for B right off the bat, or at least putting themselves into B cover positions. Unfortunately for Arkham, they do have one of their mice spawning way out in the hilly area. So he's going to take a long time to go towards the A cap with his other mouse and Kronwagen teammate. The two Kronwagens and E5s for Arkham are going to be making a play towards C. Destroy also getting the fast early cap. Metro doing a good job on this map of giving themselves the early cap advantage, forcing Arkham to play into them. But again, last game they played into Arkham and did a good job of it too. They did a good, nice counter push on Arkham's push through A. Metro still kind of chilling their E5s over on C with some Kronwagens and support by around the B area. IS4 watching for B's resets. Cosmic in the mouse getting spotted here by the IS4 Isolade. Isolde. I don't know how you want to pronounce that. I'm sorry. Vickers again going way in the back, too far away for the mouse to be able to spot him, and the mouse does take a nice 700 damage hit. Vickers bounces and gets spotted, but the mouse is going to be able to get into the cap without being able to be reset by the Vickers now. He has a little bit too much cover, and the Vickers doesn't even want to risk pushing that. But Arkham are down on cap, so they are supposed to make the move first move, unless Metro sees an opening to make a counter play. Metro really running a very similar strat to last time. They're just a little less stacked towards the C cap. They're playing a little bit more passively this time. Arkham making the move towards C this time, putting two E5s around the back corner here of C, bouncing some shots from Spanier and Dog Scented. They're going to be trying to get hold down, shooting shots into JSAC and Defender as they realize that was a mistake. Metro are collapsing 4 tanks into Arkham's 4 tanks. Arkham not bleeding as heavily as they should be. Metro not being able to pen. Metro needs to be penning these shots. Arkham's starting to make a play down towards B, possibly pushing Isolde. Well, Arkham remains fairly even out here with Metro. They got to be careful as Panir Scented is coming in and will be tipping the advantage to Metro on the C cap. But Arkham are doing a good job of bleeding Metro harder than they are bleeding themselves. As Metro gets further into the battle, though, it is going to minimize the early bleeds. They got Dog Scented getting absolutely nuked in the side. Good shots from Town supporting their tanks on the outside. Down goes JTA. Meow Kitty trying to get back up out of the crossfire. He wants to get one more shot off into Cinnamon Scented, and he does manage to get a nice HE. Unfortunately for him, he low rolls and isn't able to kill Cinnamon Scent. Cinnamon Scent manages to pick him up, and now it is a 6v5. Arkham are down an extra tank here, as Destroy is farming Kinsu from the A cap. Metro have 2 caps as well, so Arkham have to make a play here. They need to pick up Cinnamon Scented and to take out Defender and, was that J-Tag? Here comes Jody full clip whiffing a shot. He needed to save that shot until he could guarantee a pen. Whiffing another shot into Defender. J-Tag picking a huge 500 damage hit from Keeney in the back. Keeney also bouncing a shot in the back. Arkham throwing away their chance of winning this game by bouncing so many shots here. J-Tag putting one more shot into Keeney. Keeney barely manages to pick them up. He's going to take an HE shell here from Panir. Panir max rolling him for the kill. Arkham down about 1,100 hit points and are barely getting the A-cap back in their favor before Destroy picks up Kinsu. They have to kill Defender here. They don't pick him up. They do manage to pick him up, but they're still way down on cap. They don't quite have enough DPM to pick up Panir. And it looks like Metro are going to secure a second win on Port. Or this is not Port Bay. I'm sorry. This is I'm spacing the name of this map. Yamato Harbor. It's the other one with boats. So it looks like now Arkham had the advantage on the first map. They had better plays on Canal, but Metro were much stronger here on Yamato Harbor. We shall see what happens on Faust. Maximum of 3 more battles can be played. 2 more battles need to be won by either side to cinch the victory and move on to the grand finals. Metro running fairly old heavy tank meta before the Kronwagen became a staple of the heavy tank meta. 3 IS-4, 3 E5, and a single Kronwagen from Metro on Faust. They will be on the North spawn first. And Arkham sticking to the Kronwagen heavy meta. 4 Kronwagens, 2 E5s for some mobility, and an IS-4 for just an all-around solid heavy tank. All right. Hit points almost identical, about 200 for Metro. Pretty much negligible. Story having a fairly nice camo on his Kronwagen as well. All right. I can get really high in this map. Arkham putting 2 Kronwagens, it looks like, up on the ramps, speed boosting an E5 down the middle to get to the D cap. There's moving an IS-4 and a Kronwagen up towards the A cap. Well, Metro sends 2 E5s towards A, E5 onto the C cap, 2 IS-4s watching the far left, and Destroy getting into that spotting hold down position over their C cap. J-Tag making a play for B, wanting to have a presence there just in case Arkham make any move towards the cap. Arkham are pretty heavy down in the BCD area, leaving A completely uncontested. If Metro want to get an advantage, they need to start probing towards A. They have 2 tanks up there, but it looks like they're pulling their tanks away to come support the C as they spot Arkham making the push onto the C cap. Arkham should have an advantage here. They have more hold down tanks. It'll be much more difficult for Metro to pen them than it will be for Metro or Arkham to pen Metro. Arkham not quite able to make my words true here. They're getting a few decent shots in. Cinnamon Scented taking big damage. Metro coming in with a big counter push into 4 of Arkham's tanks. Arkham were going to play for B, but now they realize the push. The Kronwagen is trying to move over to put his clip into use into the main brawl. I sold the getting the focus first. His reactive armor keeping him alive a little bit longer. Arkham still down about 1 tank here over on the C area. Kinsu rotating out. Looks like he's going to help Jody and Meow Kitty with J-Tag instead of helping with the brawl over the C-cap ramps. Isolate the last tank alive on Metro that can be taken out very quickly. Isolate trying to get the shots, but doesn't quite seem to be able to get the angle. He's trying to just get out of the crossfire here, stay alive as long as possible, and he's not able to. Cinnamon getting a nice shot into his side here. Arkham down a significant amount of hit points now, over 3,500 hit points. Metro had a very nice counter push, and Arkham just weren't able to put the shells in. They pulled Kinsu out, and then left them significantly outnumbered. 3 of Arkham tanks are trying to push into Defender. Meow Kitty being ignored, trying to put some shots into the back of the tanks, pushing onto the flank of his own. But it does not look like Arkham will be able to make a recovery here. Still down about 4,000 and a half, 5,000 now hit points. Jody gonna be picked up here, most likely by Defender if he gets a nice HE. Defender messing that shot up, but Dog Scented coming in with a high roll, and Meow Kitty getting the clear. Or wait, not Meow Kitty. I think that was Dog Scented. Meow Kitty's on Arkham. I misread that. Meow Kitty wanting to get the clear. I like tanks most likely not going to survive. Yep. And then now it is a 3-on-1 Meow Kitty left. 386. Gonna try and run away from the tanks coming on his rear. Not really a point. Just get 1 shot. And now he goes down. Kudos to Metro. They are very good at these counter pushes. Arkham struggling with them. That is the second game, if not third game, that Metro counter pushed into Arkham and managed to pull off the win. I think that's the third game because they did that on the second one of Yamato as well. Metro 1 game away from securing a spot in the grand finals. Arkham battling to stay in this. I'm pretty sure Arkham was one of the favorites to win challengers, actually. Going in is Arkham or Pincer, I believe. Pincer definitely has a chance. Arkham, their chance is slipping away. On the flip side here, we have 3 IS-4, 3 E5, and a Kronwagen for Metro. They're running the exact same lineup. If it's broke, why fix it? Or if it ain't broke, why fix it? Arkham running still 4 Kronwagens, 2 E5s, and an IS-4. The same they ran as well. A little bit risky with how it turned out last game. They might be playing it a little bit smarter this time, not wanting to get counter pushed as hard. Arkham were just a little too split last game, while Metro stayed pretty consistently together. And I think that's what really gave them the lead. While Arkham had the burst potential, they wasted their shots early, didn't really pen most of them. And then Metro, as soon as they realized the Crons were out of clip, they just pushed into the low DPM heavy tanks. Oh, I see we're up to 31 viewers. Thank you all for watching. All right. It's make or break now for Arkham. They need to pick up this win. To stay in it, and Metro want to not play it. They want to play it smart, pick up this win, and not have to go to a tiebreaker. They do have a little bit more leeway, a little less pressure. They're going speed boosting an E5 into D. I think they're going to get there just before the C cap. Yep, they're going to get there about 3 seconds before Arkham are able to get in the C cap. But Arkham are going to be putting 2 tanks in, so they're going to minimize the deficit on cap. They might even be able to get it there faster. I think Arkham have better with a double cap, and I think they have better cap skills. So they cap just slightly faster than Metro was there. Those cap skills really come in handy. It's a light tank skill. I'll show you it afterwards, especially with the 2 tanks, with both having the skill. That's an extra 10% cap increase. It is necessary to have that in comp. Metro playing safe here. They're slightly different. They're making a play for A this time. They're not pulling their tanks back to make a counter push. They're just going for A early, giving themselves the cap advantage. Meow Kitty also diving into B. JTAG not able to reset though. Meow Kitty playing a smart spot with having Metro forced back by his Kronwagens. They will not be able to peek him down the middle lane here. Very smart plays on Arkham's part there. Now it looks like Arkham might be playing 2 tanks towards JTAG. Going really slow. Jody making a move up top to watch for any tanks pressuring them from above on A. They do not know that the E5s are making a run for it. He might be able to spot out isolated. He doesn't end up going up far enough to get the spots off, though. So now Arkham are still slightly behind Metro on cap by about 6 cap points. Now getting hit by the Kronwagen on the ramps over D. E5's taking some bleeds from JTA up top. Cosmic chilling in the back here, trying to help Meow Kitty with the E5 and Kronwagen peeking up top. JTAG chilling in the middle, and Paneer and Isolate potentially going to protect A, but I don't know if they realize there's 3 tanks to contest him. But Jody is not going to be supporting now. It is 2 E5s on 2 E5s, but Arkham do have more hit points. Dog Scented coming in to make it tank gun-wise in favor of Metro. HP not too far behind for Arkham. Nice shots from Dog Scented, getting the reset. No real pressure here from Arkham. They now have 4 tanks, or sorry, Metro, Metro now have 4 tanks over these 2 Arkham E5s. They need to dive now. They're taking a little bit too long, sitting around. They all 4 need to get on them, kill them as fast as possible, because Meow Kitty and Jody are coming in to support, while Kinsu and Kini pressure 3 tanks all by themselves. Cosmic trying to come in as well. Looks like Arkham are going to be able to mop up the 4 Metro tanks over on the A side, but JTA will be going down first. Jody bouncing. No. Jody didn't bounce. He got bounced. Manages to pen a shot on Paneer. Cosmic coming in with a full clip. Not quite able to hit a shot into Paneer. Needs to be focusing fire here. Paneer needs to die. He does. Isolated next focus fire. Down to half. Stuck between 4 tanks. He's pulling away from I Like Tanks and Meow Kitty. Not wanting to get crossfired. Smart plays. Stay alive as long as possible. Delay. Cosmic gonna pick up Isolate here unless he gets a whiff. He does manage to pick it up. And Arkham are up just barely. Minimally, honestly. But they do have the caps. I am now stuck. I can't get down here. Cosmic and I Like Tanks and Meow Kitty trying to push J-Tag out. J-Tag managing to get away. Not very healthy, though. It is 4-on-4. 2 tanks for each side are low. Now goes down both of them. It is a 3-on-3. Arkham having a 2,000 hit point advantage, though. And they are losing their B cap. They will need to make a move because they just lost cap advantage. They have to go now. The longer they wait, the closer Metro is going to be to getting the cap win here. I don't know if Arkham is paying attention to the caps, but they need to go get a kill because they're now. Metro has 3. Oh my goodness. Metro have 3 caps. They're going up fast. Arkham manages to secure the kill, but they're still not earning cap points fast enough. They need to pick up kills to guarantee the win here. Metro is now even with cap and moving on. Cosmic has to get a good roll, and Arkham barely, by the skin of their teeth, managed to stay in this game. They were just too slow. They needed to just commit those tanks and clear those tanks faster because they gave that. They put themselves within seconds of losing there. It is now 3-3. We are in the final battle of tonight's Middle Echelon Championship Finals for the lower bracket. That's a lot of words. All right. The map is now switched to Naval Frontier, the final tiebreaker. Metro running 3 IS-4s, 2 Yos, a Vickers, and a Kron. Arkham sticking with their Kronwagens, 3 Kronwagens, 2 IS-4s, and 2 E5s. Arkham will have the HP advantage here, again, but Metro could make that, take that away with the Yos if they use the Yos correctly. They might be sticking, no in-game battle audio? Really? Hold on. Let me check. Oh, wow. Why is there no in-game battle audio? Of course, Streamlabs. I wish somebody had pointed that out at the beginning. Just went this whole stream without having in-game audio. The stakes are high for both teams now. It looks like one Yo has 3 shots, both Yos have 3 shots, so they're going for the DPM Yos, not the burst fire Yos. Personally, the burst fire Yos would be better for negating HP leads, since they can output together 1800 damage in less than 2 seconds. But they're going for the DPM Yos, so they might be wanting to use it for a little bit more brawling, since they do have 500 more DPM at 3k. Metro sending 2 IS-4s up above C. Both Yo's playing around above B area with the Vickers trying to spot. J-Tag holding a very safe position, I think purely for A resets, while Pioneer is getting up above, or into the snipey TD position behind their B cap. Arkham sending 2 E5s and an IS-4 towards C. They should be able to get the C cap as the IS-4s will struggle to shoot down on Kinsu while the E5s protect him. So Arkham need to make him play for C here. Playing unnecessarily passive. Arkham have 2 Kronwagens going into their own TD snipey bush, wanting to counter the Yos. Meow Kitty in a strong position here, able to prevent pretty much anything from capping B in combination with his Kronwagens all around him. Destroy does get into cap. No one is in a position to reset him though, so he's going to be able to get the A cap. Metro should have been playing into C much earlier as, or I said Metro again, Arkham should have been playing into C as Metro is now going to have cap advantage. Arkham making a counter push with the 2 Kronwagens towards A. They can probably get into the cap and cap it right back without Metro really able to do much, as Metro also no longer has tanks positions to assist as J-Tag is going for C. See, that's what Arkham should have done. They should have already had C cap and counter rotated for A and just traded caps. But with both teams trading caps, Metro will still have a nice, healthy cap lead of 40 points. Metro and Arkham trading pretty equally, but Metro's light tank getting absolutely hammered here. Arkham don't have their own light tank to go and find and assassinate him, so he should still have a decent chance of surviving as long as he uses his mobility and stays at range. Arkham need to decide, do they want to go for B, or do they want to go for kills? Pioneer's sort of isolated, but those Yos can easily support him, honestly. He's in a strong position that has to be pretty committed to push, and the Yos can easily get into places to clip out anyone that goes after him. The Yos also have about 1,000 more DPM than any of the Kronwagens do if the Kronwagens dump their clips. So I think that's what Metro wanted here, is they want to use their Yos just to farm. Use their 3k DPM, their short clip reload of only about 14 seconds to clean up tanks. They don't have to do anything yet. Arkham still trying to decide what they want to do. They're sending Kinsu back up above C. He might be able to spot out all 3 tanks up above. Arkham just feeling a little too indecisive here. They have about 2 minutes left until the game is over and Metro win. Destroy getting way too aggressive. That was a huge mistake on his part. Kinsu, if Kinsu can get this pen, Kinsu whiffs the shot and Destroy gets out of there without getting put down to a 1-shot. Destroy got very, very lucky, and Arkham just shooting themselves in the foot yet again. Arkham making a play for C. They want to have double cap control. IS-4s again, not the best tanks to have up top because they can't really shoot down on to C cap without way overexposing themselves. They're going to try and get the cap back. Vickers taking another unnecessary bleed. He really should not be trying to contest anywhere. Arkham don't even have to stay on the cap for long, but they are getting counter pushed by Metro. Metro coming in with some of their DPM. Arkham need to make a move now. They can either go for the B cap or they need to get over onto C to help. JTA pushing a little early, trying to get away from the Yos, but putting himself still in 3 tanks of crossfire. Another mistake from Arkham here. It's going to be critical. Granted, there were no good choices, but the Yo wouldn't have been able to output 1,600 damage there that fast. And if he'd stayed with the Yos, he would have had tanks in positions to help him farm. Arkham down about 1,500, 2,000 hit points now. Trying to get some shots into Pioneer here, getting up behind him, making a play onto B. Arkham's still down by almost 60 or so cap points. They want to get the B cap, but now they're just sacrificing the out kitty. He's losing 1,000 hit points. J-Tag and Pioneer, or J-Tag coming in, Pioneer putting his shots in, Dog Scented able to do something as well. Arkham are not going to be able to pull this game out of their bums. This game will be going to Metro unless Arkham pulls some miraculous crap off. Just don't think they can come back being a tank down and 2,000 hit points behind. Almost 3,000 hit points behind. Kudos to Metro, taking out the previous favorite for challengers we're winning challengers. While this game is still not over, I don't think Arkham has enough power left. Yeah, see Metro picking up another easy kill on Kimi. Jody's starting to take hits from the Vickers way in the back. Vickers just got to stay alive. Metro doesn't have to do anything here but not lose tanks, but they're still going to go in and try and pick up clears. And there it is. Metro are your winners of the lower bracket finals. Moving on to play against Pincer in the Challengers Grand Finals tomorrow. Kudos to Metro. Let's go ahead and check on the top 8 brackets really fast. Yep, R was not able to make another upset against Pramo. They got 4-0'd by Jokers and then 4-0'd by Pramo yet again, or not yet again. They did manage to win against Pramo yesterday, but they were not able to do the same today. So it'll be Pramo and JKR for the top 8 Grand Finals tomorrow. I'm pretty sure Fishy will be streaming that, so I suggest watching him. In my opinion, he's got some of the best commentary, as he's a former player for Reign, and he's just got lots of good comp experience. So please go watch him if you want to watch the top 8 Grand Finals tomorrow. But this will be it for the stream. Sorry to those who came here for the Battle Pass giveaway. I gave that out earlier. Tomorrow I'll be giving it out after the Grand Final games. So no pressure. You just need to stay a little bit after to see if you have won. There will be 5 more to give away tomorrow. So if you want a chance for that, please tune in, and I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you haven't, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And have a good rest of your evening, and see you tomorrow.